Hello and welcome to this exciting journey into the world of chemical bonding. Today, we are diving deep into a fascinating concept, resonance. Ever wondered why some molecules are exceptionally stable, or why their bonds seem to be a blend of single and double? Resonance holds the key. We'll explore this phenomenon from the basics, through its rules and implications, right up to its advanced applications and theoretical underpinnings. Get ready for a four-level adventure that will solidify your understanding and prepare you for competitive exams like GMA. Let's kick things off with the basics of resonance. It's an elegant concept that explains why a single drawing often falls short in describing a molecule's true nature. Ready to uncover the electron's secret dance? Imagine trying to capture a molecule's true form with just one picture. Sometimes, it's impossible. That's where resonance comes in. It's a way to describe molecules where electrons, especially pi electrons or lone pairs, aren't stuck in one place. Instead, they're delocalized, spread out over several atoms. This electron sharing isn't just a theoretical idea, it's a fundamental reason why these molecules gain extra stability. We use a special double-headed arrow to show these different electron arrangements, which we call resonance structures. So, what are these resonance structures and the resonance hybrid? Resonance structures are like different snapshots of electron arrangements, they're hypothetical drawings, not the real thing. The atoms stay in place, only the electrons move. The actual molecule, however, is a resonance hybrid, a blend, or average, of all these contributing structures. It's more stable than any single one of them. Take the carbonate ion, for instance. It has three possible resonance structures, but in reality, all its CO bonds are identical and intermediate in length, reflecting the true hybrid structure. Time to test your understanding of these foundational concepts. Here are three practice questions to get you thinking. Pause the video, try them out, and reinforce what you've learned about the essentials of resonance and electron delocalization. Good luck! Now that we have the basics down, let's dive a bit deeper into the mechanics of resonance. We'll explore how to draw these structures correctly and understand what makes some more important than others. Drawing resonance structures isn't just arbitrary, there are specific rules to follow. First and foremost, remember that only electrons move, never the atoms themselves or the sigma bonds holding the framework together. Every structure you draw must be a valid Lewis structure, respecting the octet rule for second-period elements. The total number of electrons, both paired and unpaired, must remain constant. Furthermore, structures with more covalent bonds are generally more stable, and placing negative charges on more electronegative atoms makes a structure more significant. Not all resonance structures are created equal, some contribute more to the actual resonance hybrid than others. The stability of a resonance structure is key. Structures with a greater number of covalent bonds are usually more stable because they have more atoms with complete octets. Minimal charge separation also leads to higher stability. And, if charges must exist, a negative charge is best placed on a more electronegative atom, while a positive charge prefers a less electronegative one. The more stable a resonance structure, the greater its contribution to the overall hybrid, influencing the molecule's properties. One of the most significant consequences of resonance is the gain in stability, quantified by resonance energy. This isn't something you can directly measure, but it's the difference between the actual energy of the resonance hybrid and the energy of the most stable contributing Lewis structure. A higher resonance energy means the molecule is much more stable than predicted by any single classical structure. Benzene is a classic example, possessing substantial resonance energy that explains its unusual stability and resistance to typical alkene reactions. Understanding resonance energy helps us predict a molecule's reactivity and overall stability. All right, it's time to apply these medium-level concepts. Tackle these 5 practice questions to solidify your understanding of drawing resonance structures, assessing their stability, and appreciating the concept of resonance energy. Take your time, think critically, and check your answers. Ready to elevate your understanding? In this hard section, we'll compare resonance with related concepts, explore its role in aromaticity, and delve into its practical applications in organic chemistry. It's crucial not to confuse resonance with tautomerism, though both involve electron movement. Resonance involves only the movement of electrons, with atomic nuclei staying fixed. Resonance structures are hypothetical, contributing to a single, real resonance hybrid, and the process increases stability. Tautomerism, on the other hand, involves the movement of both electrons and atoms, typically a hydrogen atom. Tautomers are real, distinct isomers that exist in dynamic equilibrium, often interconverting. While resonance leads to inherent stability, tautomerism represents an equilibrium between different structural forms, not necessarily a universal stability gain for the interconverting species. Resonance is fundamental to understanding aromaticity, a special kind of stability. Aromatic compounds, like benzene, are cyclic, planar, and have a continuous ring of 4n plus 2 pi electrons, leading to exceptional stability due to extensive resonance. Conversely, anti-aromatic compounds have 4n pi electrons, making them highly unstable. The continuous overlap of p orbitals, enabled by resonance, is a prerequisite for both aromatic and anti-aromatic character. This distinction is vital for predicting the properties and reactivity of cyclic compounds. Beyond just describing structures, resonance also manifests as the mesomeric, or R effect, which is a powerful, permanent electron displacement through pi or lone pair delocalization. This contrasts with the inductive effect, a weaker, distance-dependent electron displacement through sigma bonds. The plus-R effect occurs when groups donate electrons into a conjugated system, while the R effect describes groups that withdraw electrons. These effects are pivotal in explaining the acidity, basicity, and regioselectivity of reactions, especially electrophilic substitution in aromatic compounds, by influencing electron density at various positions. Now, let's challenge your critical thinking with these 7 hard-level questions. These problems require you to apply your knowledge of resonance to explain acidity, aromaticity, reactivity, and differentiate it from other electronic effects. Give them your best shot. All right, future engineers and scientists. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll push the boundaries, connecting resonance to advanced theories, subtle distinctions, and its profound impact across various chemical domains. Are you ready for the ultimate challenge? While valence bond theory describes resonance as a hybrid of contributing structures, molecular orbital theory offers a more profound explanation. Mott views electrons as occupying molecular orbitals that are delocalized over the entire molecule. In conjugated systems, the p orbitals of adjacent atoms overlap side-on to form extended pi molecular orbitals. These pimos allow electrons to spread out across multiple atoms, leading to a lower energy state and thus, increased stability. Benzene, for example, has 6 p orbitals that combine to form 6 pi molecular orbitals, with the electrons filling the lower energy bonding modes, explaining its exceptional aromatic stability. It's crucial to distinguish between resonance and hyperconjugation, though both are stabilizing effects. Resonance involves the delocalization of pi electrons or lone pairs through the overlap of p orbitals within a conjugated system. Hyperconjugation, often termed no-bond resonance, involves the delocalization of sigma electrons from CH bonds into an adjacent empty p orbital or a pi system. While resonance is generally a stronger effect, hyperconjugation is significant, particularly in stabilizing carbocations and alkenes with alkyl substituents. Both mechanisms contribute to molecular stability and influence reaction pathways, but through different types of orbital overlap. Let's explore cross-conjugation, a fascinating variant of conjugation. In cross-conjugated systems, a conjugated unit is effectively branched, meaning not all pi systems are directly conjugated with each other. For instance, in benzophenone, the carbonyl group is conjugated with both phenyl rings, but the two phenyl rings are not conjugated with each other directly. This arrangement can lead to less extensive electron delocalization compared to a linearly conjugated system of similar size, potentially affecting resonance energy and spectroscopic properties like UV-vis absorption. Understanding cross-conjugation is vital for predicting the behavior of complex polyenes and polycarbonyl compounds, providing deeper insight into their electronic structure and reactivity patterns. Resonance is not just an abstract concept. It's a powerful tool for understanding real-world chemical behavior. In heterocyclic compounds like pyrrole or pyridine, resonance dictates their aromaticity and unique reactivity, influencing how they participate in reactions. Furthermore, resonance plays a critical role in stabilizing reaction intermediates such as carbocations, carbanions, and free radicals. For example, allylic and benzylic carbocations are significantly stabilized by resonance, which directly impacts reaction mechanisms and product outcomes. This fundamental understanding is indispensable for mastering organic chemistry and predicting complex reaction pathways in competitive exams. Alright, here are the first 5 challenging questions for the hardest level. These questions demand a deep understanding of resonance, its theoretical underpinnings, and its interplay with other electronic effects. Apply your knowledge of MOT, compare different stabilizing effects, and analyze complex systems. Take your time to formulate comprehensive answers. And now, for the final 5 questions of our hardest level. These problems will test your ability to connect resonance to advanced concepts like dipole moments, tautomerism, and the limitations of theoretical models. Think critically, synthesize information, and articulate your reasoning clearly. Successfully tackling these will truly demonstrate your mastery of resonance for GME. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into resonance. I hope this multi-level journey has clarified this crucial concept for you. If you found this content helpful and want to explore more such topics, remember to visit synapse.omaps.in. We have a vast library of educational resources designed to boost your GMain preparation. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing chemistry content. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep aiming for success. See you in the next video.